Which higher level belt, blue, purple, brown, or black, required the most significant shift in your game or mindset to achieve, and why? So currently, I'm a purple belt. I feel to me the biggest shift was purple for competition aspect. For Nogi, it was a big shift for me because not knowing that I don't have to only compete against purple. I have brown and blacks in my division, and that was the hardest transition for me from there. And as a purple belt, people expect a lot from you. You have to have a technique by now, and can't be sloppy. You got to have a game, and you have to have some knowledge in the game so far, and there's high standards for you as a purple belt. But every belt is hard, like, don't get me wrong, not all belts are easy, but blue belt was my favorite. What is the biggest difference between how you approach training now versus when you were a white belt? So this is a big one. I like to talk to people who are starting, beginners. White belt, when I was a white belt, I was just gung-ho. I wanted to do a whole bunch of competitions. I just wanted to learn a whole bunch of submissions. But in aspect, that's not really a good thing because your game becomes sloppy. Your knowledge is not there. The way you approach jiu-jitsu is just more of trying to beat people up, and you won't get better that way. Now, over the years that I've been doing it, I've realized not just strength, but technique works on anybody. If you have a good technique, you can beat anybody, and then you add strength to it, and it just helps out the most. But white belt days, to me, have fun. Don't take it super serious. It's not, it's not life or death for every role. Just embrace losing, embrace winning, and just enjoy yourself on the journey to jiu-jitsu. If you had to teach a brand new white belt a single principle about staying safe and having longevity in the sport, what would it be? To me, I always say this, it's getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's a weird thing to say, but it's the truth. When you're stuck in bad positions, when you start spazzing out and going crazy, you'll get hurt, or you'll hurt your partner, or your training partner in general. So to me, if you get stuck in a position, don't panic, sit there, relax, think about a methodical way to get out, and you'll be comfortable with being uncomfortable. There's a thing when starting jiu-jitsu, you'll notice in your rankings that there comes a point where you feel like you want to chase your rankings. And to be honest, that's never a good thing. I was in that spot at white and blue. I just wanted to chase my rankings. I wanted to fly through jiu-jitsu journeys and, just be some beast mode or whatever they call it. But to me, chasing promotions is not a good thing because you're coming here to learn. You're coming here to get the knowledge you want, and you can use it in your own way. If you're chasing jiu-jitsu just to get to your black belt, nobody's gonna respect that. So enjoy it, let your promotions come to you, don't chase after it, and you'll be good in the long run. This one is crazy. It happens all the time. I've had it done. I've had it in my life too as a white belt and starting. Social media jiu-jitsu. We see it all the time. We all learn techniques in some certain ways. We all watch videos in certain ways to get knowledge what we want. But if you're just starting and you see a technique that you've never done in your entire journey and you just started, don't try it out in the gym, because not only you will get hurt your partner, you'll embarrass yourself because you don't know exactly how to do it right and you weren't taught that. So in my perspective, watch instructionals instead of watching social media jiu-jitsu. Social media jiu-jitsu is not a bad thing. You'll see some flashy stuff, some flashy moves. Granted, I took some stuff off of that too, but as a white belt just starting, watch instructionals. When you come to class, watch your professors, watch your coaches, really sit there and focus. Because when you start to lose track of what they're teaching and you can't get it right the first 4 times, that means you weren't clearly paying attention. So as a white belt, really pay attention and just zone in on the techniques in front of you instead of seeing stuff on social media. If you only have time to drill one sequence this week, what should it be? Me, I like submissions. I hunt for submissions all the time, but in my perspective, I like passing and controlling side control. That is my favorite game to play. If I can pass, if I can drill passing, and get my passing down good, and I can get to my side control where I'm comfortable at already, then that's what would make my game better. I'm not opposed to, drilling different things. Don't get me wrong, it's always good to do other things, but if you can sharpen the tools you already have, then your technique will be flawless. If you were coaching a beginner for a first-time competition, what is the one non-technical piece of advice you would give them about their mindset on the day of the event? This one I give to everybody, regardless if you're a beginner or advanced. Win or lose, your school, if you guys are a tight-knit family, will always be there to support you, regardless of the outcome. I don't care if you win, I don't care if you lost. As long as you come back to training with the mindset you had before the tournament, that's all that matters to me. You went out there regardless and put it all on the line, and not everybody is doing that in life. So you're that percentage of the world that is going out there and putting it all out there. When you're starting out jiu-jitsu, you hear a lot about this thing called the blue belt blues. It's not only for blue belts, it happens at every belt. I've had my share of times where I've stopped jiu-jitsu because I was burnt out or I felt like I wasn't getting any better. And it happened recently as a purple belt. A few years ago, I was out for 2 years. Went through a lot of, drama and all this kind of situations. Started running, thought it was a new thing that I could do. But really, this sport changed my life. And what brought me back was being offered to become a coach, which is what I always wanted to do. I don't care about money in the coaching aspect. I don't care about any of that. As long as I can teach students and they can take 1 to 100% of the technique that I teach them and implement it in their game is what matters to me. So that's what brought me back to jiu-jitsu. Watching everybody else get better and not being, before I was selfish and wanted to get better myself, but watching everybody else get better is what matters to me the most, and that's why I came back to jiu-jitsu, and that's why I love this sport.